Welcome to the Robby Rose Show. I am the host, Robby Rowland. I want to personally thank you for tuning into today's episode with Alan Jaeger. Now let's hear a little soundbite from Alan himself.
Clear your mind or tune into your breathing so your mind can start defaulting to where you want it to go as opposed to what it's used to defaulting to, which might be the bases are loaded. I got to get this guy out. If I don't get this guy out, I'm going to get promoted.
May I have your attention, please?
Everyone leader.
Now listening to Clear the Mechanism.
The Robby Rose Show.
The Robby Rose Show.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Robby Rowland here, bringing you part 3, the final part of episode 58 with Alan Jaeger. So a lot to bring to you guys real quick in this introduction, but first and foremost, I'm really excited to bring to you this particular part of the Alan Jaeger podcast because we dive into like the mental side of the game. And I think it's important because not a lot of people, when they think of Alan Jaeger, I don't think they realize how informative he is when it comes to approaching the mental side of the game. He's got some really good nuggets for you guys. And again, I say this often, but man, this is a good episode for you guys to just take a little notes because there's, like I said, a lot of good insights into how to approach high pressure situations, how to approach your practice when it comes to the mental side. There's just, so much good stuff. Anyways, I don't want to take a lot of time with this introduction, but I do want to talk more about the contest. I think, as you guys know, the contest ended. The original one that we aired on Twitter ended yesterday. And by yesterday, I'm assuming you're listening to this when it comes out on Friday. But the Twitter contest ended on Thursday night. Today, we are starting a new contest, which will be airing on the platform Instagram. So I'm going to try to bring it to you guys as clear and crisp as possible. But if there's anything that you missed within just hearing what I'm talking about, go into the show notes and you'll have the contest description there. Or even just go to my Instagram, RobbyRow12, and you'll probably see the post about it there as well. So the Instagram contest, pretty much the same idea as the Twitter contest, but obviously it being a different platform, we don't really do the retweets. So to enter the contest on Instagram, you'll see a post from me, RobbyRow12, about the contest, which we're giving away the complete competitor package with Elite J bands again. So in order to enter this contest on Instagram, obviously go to the Instagram platform, go to my page, RobbyRow12. You'll see the post. You're going to double click the post, which means you like the post. Then you're going to follow me and Jaeger Sports. So again, same thing as the Twitter one there, but the only way you can enter is if you double click the post, which means you like it, and you tag a friend. So guys, each tag of a friend is a new contest entry. Just a little stipulation, do not tag somebody that you really don't know. So if you're tagging like Obama or Derek Jeter and you don't know him, that will not count for an entry. So make sure you know the friend and you're tagging different accounts or different friends each time. You can't tag the same person, but each tag of a new friend is a new entry to the contest. We will pick that winner on Sunday night at we'll do 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday night. So you guys have roughly 3 days to get as many entries as you can. So again, all of those details will be into the show notes of this episode, or just go over to my Instagram, RobbyRow12, Robby with a Y, and you'll see the specific posts that I'm talking about, which will be posted Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So that this episode, like I said, will be released Friday, February 8th. So the contest will start February 8th, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Ends Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Yikes, that was a lot. Again, see the show notes if you don't really understand anything I just said. All right, guys, I want to take this time just real quick. I want to explain the importance of training and training the right way, especially if you're a baseball guy, baseball dad, mom, parent, or even a player. Obviously, I think in this generation of baseball players, there's a high level of demand on the training aspect. I think we're taking it a lot more seriously because we're seeing the results when it comes to the type of athlete that are being produced now. I do want to give a quick plug to Dr. Josh Heenan over at Advanced Therapy Performance and the offer that he has allowed me to give my listeners is saving $100 off his remote training. And guys, $50 a month for remote training program through a guy that, if you know anything about Dr. Heenan or if you've seen some of my stuff, you know that it's not a joke. So, just in a little recap of Josh, it's funny, I'm going to call him the 90-mile-an-hour formula guy, but he's basically put together metrics to keep it simple for the athlete. And if you're interested, or if you're a parent, you're interested in signing your son up, like I said, I have a code now that I could save $100 off your signing fee if you do want to do remote training with Advanced Therapy Performance. I'll link that in the show notes, but basically you'll go to advancedtherapyperformance.com/90-mile-per-hour formula. Again, I'll link that in the show notes if you don't really get what I just said, but discount code Robby, save you $100 off your sign-up fee for that training platform. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoy the last part of this 3-part episode with Alan Jaeger. And if you did enjoy it, go ahead, go to my platform, The Robby Rowe Show, and leave a review. Let me know. All right, appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And we'll talk soon. All right, let's get to it. Obviously, the physical requirements, man. I want to step into the mental realm because I think a lot of people, when they perceive you, they see like the long toss guy, the J-bands guy, and I think a huge component of what you bring to the table is the mental capabilities, man. And the story that I wanted to share when I emailed you was, I wore that breathe bracelet for the longest time until that sucker broke. I apologize, but my wrist got too dang big. I just specifically remember you telling me one time that in order for us to be able to really like focus on the breath and when we're on the mound, right? So obviously when we think about the situation that we're in, when we're on the mound, high pressure situation, you obviously, want to do good, a lot of external factors weighing in on you. And to be able to sit there and just breathe through it. And I remember you telling me, if you don't practice that breath, how do you expect your body to replicate that when you're in the highest of pressure situations? And I just was like, that makes so much sense. So, man, I mean, let's dive into that territory. Like, how did you kind of come up with that? Was that something that you in your career maybe struggled with, or you just saw an opening for your athletes to really excel in that mental game, in that calming presence?
Yeah, well, when I was in college and I went through that real difficult period, and I just really started studying the mind and psychology, and so I was a sports psychologist myself. It wasn't until I really got heavy into meditation, which was soon thereafter. I just really got into meditation and yoga, and obviously with the mental approach to the game, I started really kind of building kind of a strategy and approach. I actually would really kind of flipped my switch when I was in college, one of my undergraduate classes. It was a cool class. We went from like west to east. We started with Socrates and like philosophy, and we went all the way to the east. And he once told a Zen story. I didn't know what Zen was, and so I asked him about Zen. It led to this book. And when I first started studying Zen, I couldn't believe it, because Zen to me represented the most ideal state of mind for an athlete. Zen is basically about no thought, pure instinct. So if you talk to any athlete in the world, talk to any attorney, any doctor, and say, hey, how am I going to perform best? They're all going to say, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just flowing. I'm being purely instinctive, right? And we all know that as athletes. So Zen just hit me between the eyes, like, man, like I want to teach this philosophy, because this epitomizes where we want to be. Now, meditation was a perfect marriage to that because, and Zen actually comes from the word, if you translate it back to, I think it's Chinese, the word actually is meditation in Chinese or maybe Japanese. It might be Japanese. But the point is this. It goes back to exactly what you said, Robby. Between having a practice where you can quiet your mind and clear your mind or tune into your breathing so your mind can start defaulting to where you want it to go as opposed to what it's used to defaulting to, which might be the bases are loaded. I got to get this guy out. If I don't get this guy out, I'm going to get demoted.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to get promoted. So all the things happen to an athlete, especially in pro ball where there's so many variables. The idea to the mental game for me was I felt like at a young age I got some really good insight about this sort of approach that was very simple. But to me, where the rubber hit the road was the mental practice, the meditation, if you will, because without that, I kind of felt like the mind was still vulnerable to a lot of old programming, a lot of old patterns that had more to do with drama and more to do with external distractions and things that were out of your control. And Zen was basically saying, no, there's no thought, there's no mind, just action, just trust your instincts. And meditation for me was a way to practice getting quiet, practice getting into your own state of relaxation, of clarity, of not getting caught up with the stuff that your brain is used to thinking about. And so that was sort of the beginning, and I've used the last 28 years to just, fine-tune it, but really it hasn't changed much, to be honest with you. There's a few little tweaks that I've made that I think have been very, very helpful, but the moral story is this. I tell athletes do two things. One, figure out what your process is, like 3 things that are key to you executing the best pitch of your life or the best bat of your life or the best 6-foot putt of your life. It doesn't matter. Figure out what your A, B, and C is. For me, as a pitcher, breathe, focal point, attack. That's it. That's all I want going on in my mind. Breathe, focal point, attack. Hitter, breathe, see the ball well, hit it hard. And I know there's more to it than that. But for me, that's what gives my mind a chance to be quiet and be instinctive. And let all my hard-earned reps come out naturally without anything in the way. So, 1, figure out what your process is, identify it, write it down, and then be great at it. 2, just sort of what you said earlier, have a practice every day. I don't care what you do for 5 or 10 minutes, really, hopefully 15 or 20. But do something with breathing, do something with relaxation. You can have affirmations, you can do visualization. Anything you want that puts you in a place where you feel like they're healthy habits, right? And
Totally.
Healthy habits that are connoted to who you want to be in the performance arena, which ironically, the better you get at your process, the more you eliminate the idea of a performance arena. You get to a point, I've had this talk a lot lately with athletes, you actually get to a point, you don't know if you're in an arena or not, you don't even know if you're performing or not. The only thing you care about, back to that 5th degree black belt, the only thing you care about is your breathing, your focal point, and attacking it, or whatever your process is. Because at the end of the day, that's what allows you to be instinctive, keep your mind clear, and out of the drama.
Dude, I mean, shoot, man, we could sit here and geek out. I'm like all aboard the flow state train, man. Call it Zen, call it what you want. I mean, it is just putting yourself in that state of mind where, like you said it, man, like you're flowing, and I think you talk to any athlete, they don't know exactly what it was that got them there. They were just so in tune and they were so in sync with what they were doing and why they were doing it. And their foundation was solid and they enjoyed every waking second of the process. And they go out there. I mean, that's why, that's how you see guys get on streaks. In the game, pitchers going, multiple innings in a row, 3 up, 3 down. And you talk to them afterwards and you're just like, yo, what was the difference? Like, did you have a better feel for your breaking ball? Were you throwing harder? Were you, what was the team you were facing weaker? What was it? And he was just like, and you hear the answer just being as simple as like, yo, like I was out there and I was focused on, whether their cue was like just staying back or, 120% intensity, like whatever it is, everyone's cues vary, but it's that simplistic, flowing state, like mindset, if you will, that just takes an athlete, I mean, in my opinion, to that next level. And that's why you see those guys on TV be able to go into the World Series where they know America's watching and it's the ninth inning, they're up by 1 and it's second and third, and you're like, and you're sitting at home on your couch watching, your palms are sweaty, and you're like, man, I could be in this situation. But then they just do it and they succeed. And I think there's so much to that, man. Just breath, focal point, execution, right?
Yeah, and also what you're saying is that how do you become that? If your mind is maybe not trained to do that, yeah, maybe it does it 50% of the time. That's why guys go on rolls and then they go into slumps and they wonder why they're in slumps. But my point is this: if you know the why behind it, like you asked a good question, like, you know, why were you in that groove? Well, we all know you're in a groove because you're essentially not thinking about anything and you're being purely instinctive. And my point is this: why would you not purposefully practice something that's going to align you with that state as opposed to rolling the dice and seeing who shows up, especially knowing that who's going to show up may tend to be more to do with society. Social media, statistics, who's in the stands, what's at stake, consequences. All that stuff is what's really out there. That's the drama.
Right.
That's what we're used to kind of being around us. And so if you don't really flip the switch and start to change this really with maybe a new having a practice every day where you can get quiet and kind of change, you know, your mentality toward all this stuff, I kind of think that, and part of it, I'm not blaming on athletes at all, because I think a lot of athletes don't know what they don't know about the mental game. It's not their fault. That's why stuff like these, you know, podcasts and any of this stuff is so important, is because someone listening to this today can say to themselves, man, I never thought about that. Like, I can do 3 things that I call constants that now eliminate every other variable that could come up in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can supersede all the things that I used to think and worry about that could distract me with something that's knowable and there. And by the way, it's mine. I created my own process. And I also believe it's the 3 things I need to do to create the best pitch of my life. When I have athletes, by the way, write their process down, listen to how I couch this. I say to them, I want you to tell me what you need to do to have the best pitch of your life right now, forever. Not for 3 pitches, not for a week. And it's amazing how quickly they know it. They're like, oh, okay, I need to kind of do this, this, and this. You sure? Yep. If I do those 3 things, man, that's it. So once you identify what your process is, Robby, what's clutch about it, is not only do you know what you want to do, you also know if you leave it and you go into something else. You're hyper aware of it now.
Yeah, I think you know what it is, man, is I think we live in such a physical, demanding industry when it comes to baseball. And obviously, we talked earlier in the show about how we're seeing younger and younger generations start training early, doing, you know, weight room stuff, bands, like all of these necessary things, and it's such a physical requirement now. And I think we're getting to a point where we might be overtrained and underdeveloped in our mindset, in our process, in our approach, which, you know, to me, it's have a happy medium, right? Like you got to spend time on understanding both. Obviously, I think the why behind that is huge, the foundation, but also understanding why having a strong mentality is so pivotal. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. You know, I speak literally firsthand experience. A lot of people don't understand that until they do go through that failure, right? I think that's kind of the eye-opening thing that really gets guys going, oh crap, you know, now I got to kind of go from ground zero. When in reality, it's like, why don't we hammer that home first? Like, yeah, let's still focus on, you know, the physical requirements, but at the same time, like, let's focus on understanding a routine, a process, you know, some mental cues that I can always go to when I either A, not feel my best, or B, have a ton of external factors weighing in on me.
And don't forget, a practice. The process, the cues, all that stuff is really, really important. But I want guys to have a daily, I want guys, gals, I want everybody to have a daily practice. I want them to spend minimum of 10 minutes a day, hopefully closer to 20 minutes a day, but whatever it is, when they practice breathing, they practice getting quiet, they practice if thoughts come in their mind, how to let them go. They practice being more naturally aware of what's happening now, as opposed to their mind taking them up onto a story. See that? It's sort of like the old guard and the new guard. You have to you want to let go of the stuff that your mind is used to thinking, because unfortunately, not for everybody, but for a lot of people in our society, it's used to what are my perfect game rankings. It's used to what is my batting average, what is my ERA, how many scouts were at the game, how many scouts weren't at the game. Why did Johnny get promoted and I didn't? Our minds are used to a lot of drama, unfortunately, or whatever, fortunately, whatever. It's part of life.
Part of it, yeah.
And if you're an athlete, like you said nowadays, and it's coming, man. I spoke at the ABCA show. I had a breakout group on mental game, and I remember one of the things I said to them, which I've been saying lately, is that right now it's all about data and analytics and launch angle and all that. I go, the next frontier is coming. Yep. It is coming. It's going to be mental practice. It's going to be mental training. The research is done. We already know the benefits of meditation, the benefits of relaxation, the benefits of visualization. The research is already done. There's nothing to prove. We've already proved it. There's only more things to prove from it now. And it might take another year or 3 years or 5 years. It's coming, man. And the typical athlete that comes into high school or college or professional baseball now, and this is not better balanced in their career, I think that they're going to miss the boat. And what's going to happen is that more and more people, for instance, this year alone, I know like at Oregon State, for instance, they're meditating every day. I just did a session with Missouri. I did a session with Auburn, both last week, just on breathing and meditation. Also the process. My point is that I feel like it's coming, man.
Yeah.
It's coming. And what's going to happen is at some point is more and more players are going to be coming up instead of with all these other modalities physically, like you said. Now they're going to also be doing the mental modalities, and I just think it's going to be one of those feelings, sort of like, if you don't have a practice in place, you're going to maybe feel like you're just missing something. It's sort of like maybe in a subjective way. Me talking, even though I feel like it's still objective, it's sort of like when I go out today to throw and I don't do my bands first, it is night and day how my arm's going to feel. And it's going to probably be night and day how my arm recovers the next day versus if I do my bands. For me, meditation, bluntly, has a very similar effect for me. It's just, how do I feel when I come out of my meditation? What's my state of mind like? How do I feel my day flows as opposed to doing it? Also, what's my recall throughout the day because I had a mental practice session in the morning? Right? What's my point of reference is totally different in my day now. Because I had a mental practice this morning, so to speak, right?
Totally.
So anyway, I just feel like it's the next frontier coming. And I'm not one of those guys like I'm trying to get credit for projecting it or predicting it, but I'm going purely with my instincts that it is coming. It's like you said, we're tapping out on the physical stuff, man. I mean, at some point, you can only get, what's the saying, you can only get so much blood out of a turnip. The mental game is basically untapped compared to the physical game. Why in the world? We all know at the professional level it's 99% mental. It's probably 95% in college. How are we not tapping into that more?
Right. Oh, it's setting yourself up for the best possible outcome. As a player, right? Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Why wouldn't you? Well, mainly because, again, nothing against the players or coaches, but if you don't know what you don't know, you're doing the best you can. But as you start to know what's out there, now you have choices. And to me, that's what's happening, is that this is starting to get out there. And people are talking about this more. They're talking more about the practice, not just like commit to the present moment or the process, which is all great stuff. What's happening now is people are talking about the technical side of mental training, the practice. What can I do today practically, like ground balls and fly balls, to change my state of mind and my body for the better?
Right. Yeah, shoot, man. No doubt. Well, hey, dude, I apologize. I know we just, like I said before we started, we could sit here and talk all day, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. But I highly appreciate you coming on and sharing your insights, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. Go ahead and tell my audience, if for some reason they don't know where to find you on social media, if you can blast your links out or, your social media platforms.
Yeah, so for starters, we're at Jaeger Sports, Jaeger Sports on both Twitter and Instagram. And our website is jaegersports.com. And we have so much free stuff. We have an article page. You can go to YouTube. We've got tons and tons of free information about long toss. There's a guided meditation. There's a guided mental talk also on YouTube. There's a J-Van workout. So we give a lot of stuff away because we're ultimately educators. And we like helping kids develop and coaches develop, and so for that, I think that's really it. Our social media and our website. That's just really the easiest place to find us. And thank you, by the way, because not only do you and I have just a great relationship for a number of years now, and you've really been such a great proponent and example of really what we're about. But I think it's powerful that you have this great platform with this reach as someone who's still playing, and yet you're kind of on the coaching and developmental side too. And what a cool thing it is that you're doing that's bringing this information out to the public.
Yeah, hey man, I appreciate those kind words, and you and I will exchange some emails. I know before these few episodes air, just to get those links. Like I said, I want to get all the articles, and you mentioned some YouTube videos. I'd like to link those all into the show notes so my audience, just easy accessibility as far as just going down and kind of clicking a link and having it take them right to what we were talking about.
For sure. I'll send you all those links.
Cool. All right, Alan, I'll sign you off the air. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the third part of a 3-part episode with Alan Jaeger. If you tune into all 3 of them, gosh, I even appreciate you more. But like I said, obviously one of the leaders in the baseball industry, so definitely some great nuggets for you guys to be had in that episode and all the episodes. But a quick reminder for that Instagram contest, February 8th, 8 a.m. Eastern Time is when the contest starts on the Instagram platform. Robby Row 1-2 is where it's going to be held, and then it's going to end Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to go over to the Instagram platform and type in Robby Row 1-2, ROBBY ROW 12. Go to a post that was aired, I guess, on Friday, February 8th, 8 a.m. Eastern, and you'll see me doing a little video, basically giving the contest details and what we're giving away. And you're gonna double click that. You're gonna tag a friend for an entry. You're gonna follow me. You're gonna follow Jaeger Sports, and that will get you in the entry. That will get you in the little pool, and then we'll pick a winner on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So many time zones. My brain's fried. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you, guys. If you leave a review, I love you. If you don't, I still love you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Robby Row's out. Bye.